There's two things we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on how he uses his torso and his body, and we're going to focus on the overall path of the racket. And those, we can pretty much group everything we're going to talk about into those two main categories. So body-wise, he starts off with his chest facing the camera. At contact, his chest is facing towards his target, forwards. And then after contact, his chest continues to turn away from the camera. So we have, in effect, a 180-degree turn of his torso, and contact is in the middle of it. And so this rotation really is the main kind of power source of his swing. I'm going to actually play through a few, and I want you to, we're going to take note of where his racket finishes on a couple of these. So watch his racket move around his body. So here his racket's finishing all the way back behind him on the other side of his body. And again, these are like real calm, like casual, just kind of warm-up swings. He's not trying to accelerate on these much at all. So pretty loose and relaxed. Probably less than 50% effort on these. So all the way over on the left side again, racket head, can kind of see back behind him. A little bit higher ball, so a little bit higher finish. Again, racket all the way over on his left side, racket head back behind him. But the pattern here is the racket wrapping around his body. If we were looking from a top perspective, like looking straight down over the top of him, from like 10 feet over the top of his head, we would see the racket tracing basically a full circle all the way around his body. So I've got some ears here. Consistently, you start in the same position with your body, with chest facing forwards. So you've made some turn forwards, but we're well short of kind of the benchmark, which was horizontal to the court. Okay, so second part was where the racket finished. So you're actually finishing in front of you, and there, if you look closely, you'll see several decelerations of the racket. And what that is, I'll play it in full speed. What that is tension, a tremendous amount of tension. And so there's like multiple you're hitting the brakes multiple times. And what that signifies is a lot of tension with your forearm and your shoulder. So body sideways, a little bit higher, tougher shot again, but in your strike zone still. At contact, really haven't turned much at all on this one with your core. And so the only thing that's powering this shot is from your shoulder down. Your arm, your forearm, your hand is doing the work here. And there's the finish position with the racket. So in full speed, again, you'll see a very quick, like a lot of tension. Something that's pretty universal among top pros is a smooth deceleration of the racket. And something that's pretty universal among amateur players is an abrupt deceleration of the racket, which, as I said before, is due to tension. And a lot of that tension is kind of a natural response to contact. We have a natural, for whatever reason, program built in to brace for impact. Whether we're about to crash our bike, into a tree, or we see a car coming out of the corner of our eye, or a tennis ball is about to hit the racket, our natural instinct is to brace. And world-class athletes have trained that out of their system, and it's actually the opposite. The more power they want to deliver into the shot, the looser they are to allow the energy to flow through the point of contact. Those things are going to be our focus. Efficient, powerful lead with the body, and then loose and relaxed arm as a result. If we can do those two things, then your forehand will be completely different than what it is now. So position one is just going to be your regular setup position. Position two is going to be your body leading with your racket staying behind. So basically what we want to do is create separation between what your body does and what your arm and your racket does. So position one will be setup. Position two will be the leading, of your body. Position three is going to be contact. And we're just going to leave it there for right now. And I'd like you to take a 1 or 2 second pit stop at each of those and just kind of visually check everything out and make sure you're in the right spot.
Position one. Position 2.
Uh-huh.
Position
That's it. Good.
3.
No more. Yep. We'll blend this into the follow through eventually, but for right now, I just want you to be aware of the body rotation, the timing of it, how it's separate from the swing forward with the arm. So for the next couple of reps, I'd like you to focus on making sure, and I'd like you to exaggerate it for a few, where I'd actually like you to reach parallel before you fully get to position 3, which was contact. Okay. Right now you're meeting those two things at the same point in time, and I'd like you to feel what it's like to actually get to parallel to the base, to the service line, before your racket comes forward to meet the ball. Yep, exactly. Yep. Nice job. Okay, so here's what you looked like on your very last repetition. So, racket pointing back, chest pointing forwards.
Yeah.
So to you use the word odd. For the next 48 hours, I want you to keep in mind that what odd really means is different.
Sure.
And meaning AKA different than what you're used to.
Sure.
Which is exactly what we want. Of course, we want the correct odd feeling, but odd doesn't mean wrong. It just means that you're moving your body differently. And that's what we're going for. So I'd like you to execute a couple more repetitions and make everything a little bit smoother. And now, rather than focus on the positions themselves, I'd like you to focus on relaxing from the shoulder down as much as possible. Yeah, really nice. Good. No faster than that. Make that your maximum speed right now. And I want you to barely hold on to the racket from your right shoulder all the way to your right fingertips. I want you to loosen all those muscles as much as possible. Just feel like you're pulling your arm and your racket around your body with your torso.
I shall tell you the truth. This is just loosening up my shoulder.
Good.
This is great.
And now in contrast, watch yourself hitting forehands.
Oh yeah.
The tension is really incredible on a lot of these. And there's like abruptness, there's tightness, tension. This is a completely different fundamental thing, like 100% different mindset. Now in like a minute or maybe two, we're going to start to experiment with dropping the ball, and I'll tell you right now, your biggest challenge is going to be maintaining this fluidity and this looseness. Hey, pretty good, John. Pretty good. Nice job. I just got the tail end of your last shadow swing. And now here's your actual hit.
Yeah.
You look nice, right?
Yeah.
That was really good. Nice job.
Yeah.
So we're leading with the chest now.
Yeah.
At contact, chest was parallel to the net. Look at that, man. Good.
Yeah,
so you allowed the racket here to just flow through the point of contact.
I did.
Really nice and smooth. Good.
That one's nice.
Let's do it again. We're just getting started. Really good, John. Really good. Really nice. Last shadow swing, really nice and calm.
Calm. That's a good word. Yeah.
This is probably the calmest forehand you've ever hit in your life. I'm serious. So chest is leading, parallel contact, and look at the racket smoothly.
Yeah.
And chest facing away from the camera.
Yeah. All right.
Good job. Keep going.
Yeah.
So just to give you a little bit of a preview, assuming we continue along this path and continue executing with this framework, you will be hitting tremendously more topspin. And so now that your arm is actually starting to move independent of your body, once we get to the point where we're actually hitting shots and starting to pay attention to how they're moving, you're going to see that there's way more shape to the ball because your racket is actually going to be able to drop down and smoothly lift instead of muscling through it. How's your best one so far? in terms of calmness and smoothness. Nice and smooth here.
And you know what? That ball off my racket felt like if we were playing, that would have been a heavy ball. It wasn't deep, but it would have been a heavy ball because it had a lot of just natural spin, and my racket head speed is pretty slow right now.
It's very slow. Yeah, watch the acceleration is very minimal right now.
Yeah.
I mean, really almost as low as we could possibly make it while still hitting the ball.
Get to it.
And what percentage of your total effort, like if 100% is as much energy as you can possibly put through the swing, what percentage?
20%.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, I mean,
So competitive shot with 20% effort.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep, that's it, John. Good job. It probably feels exaggerated to you.
A little bit.
I want you to
exaggerating it on purpose.
I want you to see where you're at in reality. Here's 3 shots ago.
Oh wow. I feel like I'm exaggerating it, but I'm not. Okay.
Here's 2 shots ago.
Yeah.
Looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's really nice contact position. So in your brain, this is exaggerated.
It does. It feels like I'm almost belly flopping into the court.
It looks really nice.
Okay.
It's a great looking contact point. To make improvements, a lot of times we got to play tricks on our own mind, our own body, because it's in such contrast to what your current habit is.
Yeah.
You're obviously familiar with the phrase easy power.
Yes.
The only people who are able to make it look easy and still hit a solid, like big ball are the people who move like this. You cannot hit a big ball with minimal effort without moving your body like this. So what you're experiencing right now, probably for the first time, is what that's like to actually move in such a way that it doesn't take much effort to hit a good result. We're going to make that your new normal. Nice job. All right, let's go back to the baseline, John. You're doing a nice job with leading with the chest. I'm assuming that's probably where your focus has been.
That has been my focus, yeah.
Okay. And now I'd like you to shift your focus back to your hand and your wrist again. Okay. And make that as kind of loosey-goosey as you can while leading with your chest. That's nice, John. That's nice.
That felt better.
The reason from the beginning, we've broken this down into 2 main chunks, the body leading and the looseness of the arm and shoulder. The reason why it felt so good was you did both well. We didn't quite get to the kind of our benchmark of parallel to the baseline, but it was very close.
Close.
So you led well with the chest, and you were focusing on loosening your hand. So the combination of those 2 things is going to give you the ease of power, the ease of acceleration that we're looking for. So anytime those things both connect and they're both executed well, that's when you're going to hit your best shots. Let's make primary focus the tempo. And as you feel comfortable to kind of branch out and be aware of other things, I want your secondary focus to be leading with your chest.
Okay.
And then I think if you do a good job of those 2 things, for the most part, the rest of the swing will probably follow suit. Good. All right. Hey, nice job, man. Hey, that was a good start. I'd say about half of those were nice looking, like pretty solid looking. So, I mean, I would count that as a success for sure. Body rotating into the shot.
Yeah, and that wasn't an easy shot either.
No. Overall, pretty calm, smooth tempo. Same thing there. Now you're getting pulled a little bit more out of your comfort zone. And so your whole arm here gets locked. And we get kind of real tight and kind of steered, kind of steered through that one as you get more out of position. And again, like really steered. The ball's up out of your strike zone. And so you're trying to just kind of like arm it over, kind of guide it over. So a little bit of your old habit coming in there. But that, like, totally different. Like, you're in balance here, ball's in your strike zone, and the tempo and the smoothness here, and the way that you used your body is completely different.
Yeah.
We've kept things really managed and, you know,
Right.
controlled for right now. So we'll learn how to branch out. But the fact that you're bringing some of these new habits already into a rally is excellent. It's really good. Really nice. That was a good looking swing, huh? You look like a different player here
Yeah.
compared to this morning.
Yeah.